What is it?
8.
Is it really 8? Mm-hmm. Why is it such a bitch ass if it's 8% alcohol?
It's easy to drink for 8. We don't.
This is HR of Bad Brains and Human Rights. You're listening to the Tapping Out Show with Jeremy and Matt.
Okay. Welcome to the very biased Tapping Out Show.
Thank you for watching the Tapping Out Show. This is Matt.
And Jeremy.
And today we're doing Pliny The Motherfucking Elder.
This is Russian River's staple beer. They actually have a bunch of different type of IPAs, but this is not only one of the more difficult ones to get, but it's their most famous, infamous, however you want to put it. This is the beer that most beer connoisseurs either kind of cut their teeth on. Is that a good way to put that? Like it's.
I would say it's one of the most elusive IPAs, and most people, to get more than one of these in one place, you have to drive to Santa Rosa, California, right?
And buy a case.
Go to the brewery there. So,
I actually think there's a limit on those too.
And a lot of people are lucky. I think it's like one case per adult. So I've seen some of my buddies get one, and then like one, with another adult or
wife go get one, buddy go get one.
But it's one of the top IPAs. It's one of my personal favorites. Luckily, I go to a few places that seem to have it readily these days, and also Blind Pig, which is another favorite of ours from this brewery. But definitely awesome stuff. They've been around for a while, and this is one of the most sought after IPAs that I know about.
Well, especially seeing for an example here on the West Coast, we have a fiend almost for East Coast hard to get IPAs. A lot of the Alchemist stuff is very hard. A lot of Lord Hobo stuff is very hard. So we kind of almost hold it at a higher standard because not only is it a good beer.
It's awesome beer, yeah.
But it's a difficult beer to get. So to this is hard enough for us to get.
One thing also about this beer, and it says it 100 times on here, is you gotta drink it fresh.
Like brand new. Which also makes it very hard to get because they only ship it in very small amounts for that reason.
So it's literally like a ticking time bomb once you get one. And so it's just gonna release more and more of the hops, and you're not gonna get that original flavor
that they were looking for. Yeah.
So that's why they say that.
So, don't get me wrong. This is more of a reaction than a review. We've had this. I mean,
we've had this beer many times.
If you watch the show, I do have a very particular view on this beer, but
Jeremy doesn't love IPAs.
Well,
we're working on that.
And here's the thing. So, I've come to love another beer of theirs a lot. Is that a good way to put that? A lot. Like, that's one of my go-to IPAs, and
I drink a lot of Blind Pig.
That's the beer. So I'm willing to give this another shot. We've kind of tried to do this before, and I just didn't want to do it.
Top Valley too. One of their number one. Top Valley is really good.
SIS or SOS? SIS.
SIS was good. We did that one, but I like Hop Valley a lot. I like Blind Pig.
All right, so it's not as malty on the nose as a lot of IPAs. It's not hoppy on the nose as a lot of IPAs. It's pretty decent. It's even keel, and that's kind of the appeal of this beer.
It's the best of hoppiness.
Well, it's the best of all worlds. It's supposed to be that perfect IPA experience. Is that a good way to put that?
I think it's probably known more for being one of the hoppier ones.
No, I'm
big for.
Which is funny because
given it that West Coast, a lot of people are trying to mimic or go for their version of this type of beer, I think.
But see, to me, and this is just because you and I grew up on not only West Coast IPAs, but true Southern California, in particular San Diego IPAs, which is hop forward. Always hop forward.
Definitely, yes.
So to me, this isn't that hop forward. It's not super crazy, but it's still really good. The smell.
Yeah.
To me, I always heard people tell me this was the perfect mix between the hop, the bitter, the sweet, and a little bit of a malt, whatever.
Yeah.
So that was always the appeal that everyone gave me this beer. Again, I always was very biased of this beer, but I haven't had it in 3 years.
I haven't had one in about a week.
Well, I haven't had one in at least 3 years.
They've been easier to get lately, but
well, that's because you can't keg these.
yeah, they're not putting them in kegs because you know what's going on. But definitely an awesome beer, and I'm looking forward to us trying again.
Cheers. See, it's weird because
It's such a good beer.
well, it's different tasting than I remember it, and I actually don't enjoy it for the reason of what I don't. Oh, let me try again.
Memories. Personally, I think it's a great beer, and so much hop is going on in my mouth right now. So if you're not into that, you know, kind of like the Idiot IPA and some of the other ones, and so if you're just not into that hop explosion in your mouth, and that's hard to make happen. And so even though you're not into it, think about all the IPAs we tried. How many of them will explode in your mouth? That floral.
But I agree and disagree with you because I do think the reason I don't like this is the hop forward palate cleansing or covering.
Yeah.
But I love Blind Pig. I love Idiot for the same reasons you just said.
Yeah.
It is hit you in your face, hop forward IPA.
We like Blind Pig because it's maltier, but.
No, I know, but I'm saying
like even though I've said I had one a week ago and I had it off, I think it was in a bottle, but I still, even though I've had one in a week, I still don't remember that kind of like floral, you know, explosion.
I don't mind the floral part. That's not my problem.
It's the back end that you're
it's
not into.
That heavy hop, dry.
Yeah, it is a little dry, and that's what. But see, that's what they were going for, and that's what this beer is all about.
I'm sharing my opinion on it, but I'm trying to be a little less biased than the last time we did this. I'm trying to be a little less biased than I have been in the last 3-4 years about this beer.
Which is surprising though, because you're kind of the dry, bitter guy.
That's what I'm trying to get at. However, whatever it is about the way this thing hits the back of my mouth, when you first take that sip. It's exactly what you expected. It literally is hop. I'm not sure if
drinking
it's
fresh is because if you don't know about beer,
I'm not sure if it's Mosaic or if it's Simcoe or both or maybe a mix of all of the above. I'll have to research it later, but it's.
From my understanding, it's how they brew it. If you see how they do it online, there's like a lot of foam that comes out and everything. So, from my understanding, there's some kind of style of how they brew this beer that just kind of brings out that hoppiness, or maybe there's so much hop that it just kind of foams up.
Again, but that's not my problem.
It's almost like they compress it in this small bottle. Like
maybe it's the amount
like
of it.
Wow, right?
No, you're right. Maybe it's the amount of hitting it in my face. But like, think about it. I love Idiot IPA. That's hop forward. It says it. It's so it is filled with stupid hops, and that's fine. The hop isn't really necessarily my problem anymore. It's the way that this is presented. I really do think, and I'm going to say this again, Russian River makes better beer. Russian River makes better IPAs.
It's so drinkable too. For how much flavor it has, it's extremely drinkable.
No, it's drinkable, but
really drinkable.
But to me, for what it's
no, but see, like drink it. The more you drink it, I think it kind of in the
grows
beginning,
on you.
Yeah, well, not just that. Your palate gets used to that hop. You know.
No, it does. That's not what I'm saying. Is that for the prestige that this thing gives itself, or it shouldn't even give itself, the prestige that other people give this beer, they make better beer. I'm sorry. They make better beer. Russian River makes better beer than this.
Well, my 3 favorites from them is this beer, Blind Pig, and Hop Highway. I think they're all.
I think Blind Pig is the best thing they've.
Happy Hops. I think
Happy Hops.
Sorry, Happy Hops is what they call it. It's a great beer.
I truly think that Blind Pig is the best beer that Russian River makes that I've tried at this point.
Because it's more your style. It's more malty.
I agree, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I was going to tell someone which beer they should try at a brewery, if we were at their brewery, this isn't my first choice. Now,
depending on what they like.
Well, let's put it in this perspective. Is this the ultimate IPA? Because that's the question. We've done a video where we did these guys versus versus Alchemist.
And you even chose this over Alchemist.
I did.
I'll rewind it right now.
I'm sure you will.
Actually gave this guy a lot more props in, but I would say there is no ultimate anything. I would say this is one of the pinnacle or one of the ultimate IPAs. And really, if you like, and you don't like IPAs as much, but if you do like IPAs or you just want to try one of those top tier IPAs, this is going to be there. Doesn't mean it's going to be, what you're looking for, but it's going to be a floor explosion. It's going to be really easy to drink. And when this beer first came out, that was very hard, if not impossible, to get other than this beer.
Yeah.
And now other beers have, kind of figured
Mimicked
it out.
it or bettered it. Or.
But I would definitely say this is normally not your style of beer, but I think it's a great beer, and I really like, how I think it's smooth. I really do like it.
I think this beer, and this sounds so funny, maybe I'm just hungry.
Especially, let's go backwards though. This is also an 8% beer.
No,
so
I know.
Think about that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I actually think that this would be great, and this sounds so funny because the origination of the India IPAs and the concept of how we brew it now and how they were drinking it from before. But this would be really good with fish and chips.
It would.
Straight up.
It would.
Anyways, 1 out of 5. 5 being the best, 1 being the worst.
I'll say
5 out of 5.
Pliny always gets 5 for me.
I don't remember
Never
what
changes.
I don't remember what I did it last time, and you're probably gonna be surprised, but I'm gonna give it a 4.25 out of 5. So it's still in the 4 out of 5 range. The reason behind this is the reason I didn't like it from before is actually the reason why I like it better now. And it's the hop arrangement. It's the fact that it gives you multiple levels and layers of hop, both front palate, back palate. It's very strong and very not strong, floral, but not overpowering.
Yeah, it's done well. It's a very well brewed beer. Even if you don't like the flavor, I think it's done
Correct. From a connoisseur standpoint, from a true beer snob standpoint, this is a good beer.
Definitely.
And before the little doggy ruins the rest of the video, we're gonna finish this one out.
Cheers.
You guys have a good night.